Are you happy? Are you deep down satisfied with the person you are, how you're living your life, and the future as it appears today? Do you have a passion? Is there any one thing in your life that is so important that it makes prioritizing everything else simple? If the answer to any of those questions is no, do you have any idea why? Welcome to the Veramore Speaks podcast. I'm your host, Dawn Keegan, co-founder of the dating app Veramore and the nonprofit app Hero Harbor. Happiness, mine and that of others, is something that's always been very important to me. I've devoted my life to understanding how we take the things life throws at us and combine that with our own special gifts to come away with an experience that, while not always perfect, is one we are proud of and allows us the fewest regrets and least amount of heartache. Whether through my personal musings or conversations with guests, the aim here is not to find a one-size-fits-all to-do list of change, but instead a mindset that lessens our fear, reduces judgment of ourselves and others, and frees each individual to build the life that truly represents happiness for them. Thank you for joining us on the Veramore Speaks podcast. I've always worked to provide the most honest, helpful content I could in forms that reach the largest possible audience. And my extreme dislike of greed-driven organizations means I do so without ads or sponsors. But for us to continue improving with better guests and more consistent production quality, we need your help. If you have found any value in what we do and the content provided, please show us a little love by making a contribution directly to the podcast or as a tax-deductible donation on the heroharbor.org website. Thank you again for listening, and please enjoy the show. Okay, so what do you think, aside from the jewelry and that sort of, what other sort of things do you think, and your family, but helped you to get through?
Oh, I got involved. I mean, I just for the last 10 years, I've been involved with my church too, teaching our youth ministry, teaching confirmation to high school students. I share a lot of my story with them. I've gotten back involved into coaching with my daughter, softball, and looking into doing baseball now with my son, now that he's getting older. I just, started getting out of the house. That was the hardest part, just getting out of the house. And, because, you start feeling, that if you go outside, everything's going to just be a shit fest, right. Everything's going to go wrong, but you just got, I say it a lot, you just got to say, fuck it, adapt, improvise, and move the fuck on. That's what we got to do. And once you realize that, there ain't nothing stopping you.
Right.
I was blessed with the opportunity to keep walking. I took that opportunity, right. And I just kept moving and moving. No matter other setbacks that I had, boom, I still get back up and start walking again. I just, just determined. You got to be determined. And just helping out. I love helping and talking to veterans when I get a chance. A lot of the times, just the last 5 years, when I was stuck in the hospital for 8 years with the spine infection, my family started, we started the stalking brigade with the Marine Corps League, 835 out of San Diego. The first year, I saw that there was hardly some of our vets weren't being visited in the spinal cord unit. So I asked my wife, hey, you know what, get some stockings together, put some goodies in it, and we'll pass them on Christmas Day. I was so fucked up on this, on the spasms that I was having from the infection. I don't know how I did it, but we got into a red sweats. They found me a freaking Santa T-shirt. They brought in the hat, and then beard, and in my wheelchair, we went from bed to bed. It was about 25. We have 25 veterans there, so we went bed to bed, passing out the stockings. So the following year, I hit up by the Marine Corps League. I've been a member there for the last 10 years, and they adopted it. So we started doing that in the last 5 years. This past year, we got even bigger. We got together with Christie's Hope. For the first year in 5 years, we were able to cover 3 of the 4 hospitals out in Southern California. So we collected close to 1,500 stockings. We passed them out at Long Beach VA, at La Jolla VA, Loma Linda VA. Next year, we're going to hit LA. We passed out some at the Aspire Center. There's a place called the Cabrillo Villages out in Long Beach, which is an awesome, awesome place that it houses about 500 people, but it's for veterans who are either homeless, going homeless with their families, those veterans that are homeless also. They got so much progress. It's a city within the city. That place was really amazing. All the work that the city of Long Beach, everybody should look at what Long Beach is doing with the homeless population and veterans who are struggling to get back on their feet. And many of them have lost their homes. Like we lost our house last year too. Because I mean, I couldn't work. My wife, you know, I had to stop doing what she was doing to take care of me. We lost our house. You know, there was so many stuff that's out there that happens with us that we don't know about. And I didn't know about other programs that could have helped us out at that time. But, you know, shit happens. Oh, wow, you know, that's in the past. We keep moving forward. Wow. But just, you know, just staying involved. That's what's helped me a lot is being active, being part of my kids' lives. Because there was a time that I was like, fuck, maybe I should just knock myself out. Yeah. You know, fucking go through the suicide. Too. Yeah. I was like, even right.
I know.
Thinking about it, I was like, you know what?
I know.
I'm this fucking far. I'm not gonna let no other motherfucker touch my wife. I ain't gonna let no other bastard raise my kid either. That was my motivation right there. That, you know, no matter how bad it gets, it's always gonna be if I'm blessed with another day, I'm just gonna work at it, regardless how bad I am, how fucked up I hurt, or whatever. You just gotta have that freaking attitude, and that's one thing that I've learned from you know, dealing with the other doctors and nurses and everything. They said when it comes to the Marines, it's different as far as when you're recovering. They don't give up. They fucking push forward. And just to share real quick with you, my doctor that did my surgery, he's done all my surgeries, and my case was so rare. I mean, I showed you the picture of my scar.
Right.
You know, my case is so rare how my whole spine was being calcified. My body was shutting down. So and within a day, he had to come up with the prognosis. And you know, he told me, hey, Ray, I don't know what the hell's going to happen to you. We got a 50-50 chance that either you're going to make it or you're not. And if you make it, you're going to be a vegetable, or you'll be lucky if you can move your head. And I was like, you know what, doc, let's do it. You know, we just prayed about it. Let's do it. So he did that. You know, that surgery, it turns out that when he was being recommended for a higher board or whatever doctors go through, of all the surgeries they did, they picked mine. And that, you know, he says he had to go relive the whole thing. You know, why he did this, why he did that. And then at the end, they asked him, why do you think he survived? Or why do you think he's doing his prognosis? Or why do you think he's improved so much? He told me three things. He's one, his faith. He has a lot of faith. Two, the family support that he has. And the third one, he said, try telling a Marine he can't do something.
Yes.
He just got up of his chair and walked out like he dropped the fucking.
Yes.
I was like, fucking doc, you're awesome.
I love it. Oh no, and I love it, and that's the thing. Okay, so I have a couple of questions. I did a similar thing with a doctor with mine. I was so tired of being told you're not eligible for, or, you know, you're not a good candidate for surgery. You're not this, and I was in pain. I'm like, I'm done. I'm over it. So I took this particular doctor. I walked in and I said, if you need to call your wife right now and tell her you're going to be late, and this is literal. This is exactly the words I said. So then you do that right now. I said, because we are not leaving this office until you have an answer for me. And you know, a few weeks later, we did 5 hours worth of surgery, and everything's a competition. I was home in my own bed in less than 24 hours. The discharge papers said build up to a mile before your checkup, and in 2 weeks. By that point, the next day I walked a mile or two on my treadmill, and then by the time I got there, it was I'd done 18 miles, a mass.
Oh shit! Wow.
I mean, it was over several days. Anyway, he said that is not exactly what I had in mind. He said, but I'd rather have one of you than 10 of the others. But it's a mindset. Everything's a competition. Everything, and it's like, I get it. I so get it. And I am so thankful for what you just said about, because I think I told you when we were talking last night about the story I read back in October about the 24-year-old Army veteran who, and I mean, he thought, and this is what just kills me, is he thought enough, he thought about his children enough to record a video to them apologizing for not being here, but he didn't stick it out. And this is no blame, no criticism, because we've all been there. I get it. It just, I love what you just said. And I just love, that you grabbed that from down deep and said, whatever it takes, I'm going to be here. So a couple of questions I have is the stockings and all you're doing right now. Who purchases all that stuff? Who pays for it?
Oh man, before I would just raise money. The last couple of years, I started doing walks. I did the Coronado Bridge walk, and I raised $500. And then I broke my back, so I couldn't do that. So I was like, shit, So I started asking. We have a great bar here called the Shamrock. They freaking, they set it up where people were dropping stuff off. The Marine Corps League, different donations. So that was for the 2 years ago. But this past year, we got in contact with Christie's Hope, which is right here in Temecula. And she's been, for the last 5 years, she was collecting stockings also, but they were sending them to overseas for our deployed troops. So this year, there was a lot of changes that I think the American Legion did, but she still wanted to continue that. So we were, one way or another, we just got connected. We started working together, and just out of the kindness of people's hearts, just people donating stockings, goodies. I asked, this year I reached out to Sun-Made Raisins. They sent me a bunch of raisins. I got cookies from Little Debbie, oatmeal rounds. They sent me a bunch. Badger Lip Balm sent me a bunch of stuff. Justin's peanut butter cups. They sent me 45 pounds of freaking chocolate to put in the stockings.
I'm going to start putting you in charge of fundraising for Harper. I suck at asking for money. You sound like you're really good at this. Well, that's what I was going to ask. Have you thought about turning PTSD bottles into, or whatever, into your own nonprofit, or would you rather?
I thought about that too, and even then, I don't promote it out there, but proceeds that when I sell my bottles, I put some money to the side to go towards the stockings.
Okay.
I don't like, I don't like making it out there. Okay, this is why I don't want to make it for all this is, I'm sorry for all this, kind of thing.
It sounds like plenty of people are donating without the tax advantage and things.
Exactly.
If we could get you, it's a little bit of an expense to get started, but I mean, it would give you there are so many things that you could do. And remind me too, after we get done here, I'll point you to some other places where you can get, once you have an LLC or whatever it is you want to do, which that part is virtually no cost at all. But there's several places that I can point you to get verified as a veteran-owned business, and that gives you more exposure. So remind me when we're done here. I'll send you as much resources as I can with that. Okay, so now, once again, in the process of asking that question, I've forgotten what the other one was. So had to do, crap.
With the bottles, now that
that might have been it. So yeah, you said you started with jewelry, but
so and then
what?
After I broke my back, I couldn't do the jewelry no more. I can't just sit there and move my hands like I used to. Right. And right before my wife bought me a nice bottle, and I finally got I was unemployable, finally got Social Security. I did get a nice little, check on the side. So she's like, this is considered your retirement. So she got me a Johnny Walker Blue Label bottle. Nice. I was like, man, this sucker's nice. So it took me a few years to finish it. Right. But then looking at the bottom of the box, I'm like, this is way too nice to just chuck in the trash.
Right.
So that's why I was like, then I started Googling how to put lights in them. So I, found that out, bought a little drill bit. I had a buddy that donated, he gave me the freaking drill, this awesome, plug-in drill that really was just heavy, but I started to make holes in the back. It took a while because I started breaking every bottle first, but little by little, just started tweaking different things, learning different things. Just a learning process. Then I started painting my own bottles. Then just to make it look like the liquor. It's funny how many times people show up thinking I'm selling shots. I'm like, no, man, they're painted bottles with lights. And like, man, you do fucking good job. It's I was ready to line them up right now. We want to do shots.
And isn't it funny that there's no possible way when you first got out that you could have seen that. There's no way that
there's no fucking possible way. It's just things that just happen. You see something, I'm like, man, let me see if I can do something with this, and my mind just keeps going. I've taken out labels off the bottles, and I put Marine Corps stickers, Marine vet, Army vet, Air Force vet, different things, or I spray paint them. Now that I'm starting to get a little bit better on spray painting, and just changing them up, just doing different things, different styles. Whatever I see, it just pops in my head, kind of like with the jewelry. I saw different colors, different shapes, different designs, and worked at it. Same thing with the bottle. I got so many ideas, floating through that. It's like I don't have enough time to do all this shit. I got to worry about my kids and everything. So, it's hard to really go out there and just dedicate my full time to the bottles because, I got all this other stuff now. Now I'm Mr. Mom. You know, I got to do the cleaning, I got to do the cooking, and that was stuff that I couldn't do until now.
Right.
You know, funny, I had to break my back to be able to do all this shit all over again.
But you know, that's the thing, and that's something I found too. And this is not specific to the military, but you don't appreciate being well until you are sick. And you don't, it's just, if you've been healthy all your life, you don't really, you take it for granted. And when you lose, and when you think that you're going to lose your life or your family or your health, it changes everything. So that's the thing that I most want people listening to this to take away from it, is that you dug down and you said, whatever form that I'm going to be here, I am going to be here. And whatever, you found something to get you through to that next day. And now, and this is, again, it's a common thread among all these interviews, is that, we have that dark place, but we grab whatever it is inside that says, I have value, I have something, I don't know what the path is. Because one of the people I talked to, he said, when his wife had to break down a hotel door because he was trying to hang himself, and he said, I think it was him, it may have been somebody else. Like I said, the stories are very similar across the board, but it wasn't that he didn't want to be alive. It's not that he did that he just wanted to be dead. It was simply that he didn't want to be alive in this situation. He didn't, if this is all there ever is, and at that moment you cannot see the future. No. But what people have to understand, and what they need to hear, is that there is something. We don't know what it is right now, but there is something. So, find whatever it is, anything. And this is speaking to me and you and all the rest. Stop being so fucking stubborn. Just ask somebody. Go, whatever it takes. VFW. Go find somebody in HH. But whatever it is, find something, because we need you. All of us as veterans are special. Sometimes I feel guilty for saying that, but it's true. We really are, and it's not just because we volunteered to serve. We are a different breed of people.
Yeah. We're willing at one point or another to give up our lives for this great country. Yeah. It ain't perfect, but you know what? If I can do it all over again, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when I first started promoting Hero Harbor on Instagram and stuff, I had some knucklehead. It was a Marine who just, the first thing he said, he called me a pogue. And it was funny because my business partner is Air Force, and he's like, "What the hell is a pogue?" And I explained to him, and the guy just kept baiting me, because I was a woman, and so I wasn't. Yeah. Right. And I responded to him a couple times. I said, "Look," I said, "you know nothing about me." And I recognize it. I said, I agree that way too often, at least when I was in, way too often the women were, taking advantage of being women, and they were pulling their weight. Me being the crazy nut that I am, I overcompensated. I was working out 3 times a day. I was deadlifting 315 for reps, all that kind of crazy shit. Whereas the other guys in my shop were barely making first class PFTs. But the thing I said to him is like, you don't know anything about me. And so, oh my God, here I go. Forgotten what I was going to say. But, it's just that, you know what? I don't know. It doesn't matter. God, my brain is just all over the place. But what it had some, I thought I could have sworn it had something to do with being female. Who knows, whatever. The point is that I don't know what the point is. All right. So when we offline, I'm going to help you. We're going to start figuring out the nonprofit thing or whatever it is to get you going. Because right now, tell us how to find you on Instagram and Facebook.
Facebook, it's just PTSD Bottles. All caps. And on Instagram, it's PTSD Bottles.
Right.
Okay. That's where that's. I'm not. It's funny because I get hit up so many times. Everybody thinks I'm rich.
Right.
I'm like, it'd be nice, but not everybody. Yeah, I got followers and everything, but not everybody going to buy. Sooner or later, they're going to buy, but I get hit up so many times with scams and all this. It's like, oh my.
Yeah. And that's.
But it's just that's the best way to find me. And I don't make. well, a lot of people have told me that they, send me messages of what they like about my site and everything. That I make it personal.
Right,
When I see that somebody likes my page, I tell them thank you for
right,
liking my
right.
my site. Much love and respect. A
Right,
lot
right,
of other places or people they're writing me saying, "Yeah, you buy something now,
right.
10% off or all this."
Yeah,
When
yeah,
they're ready to buy, they're gonna
yeah,
buy. I love being able to
yeah.
see what people are going through. I've met so many other veterans through the Facebook, through Instagram that like we were saying earlier that needed someone to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Especially during this past Christmas. My buddy at Mex U.S. Marines, he posted out there of different other veteran-owned businesses
Mm-hmm.
that were willing to listen to anybody. And
Right.
sure enough, we all got hit up by people that wanted to let off some steam, had
Yeah.
stuff going on. Just a case was one guy, he was ready to call it quits that day. If he did not see that post,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be here. I was like, oh my Lord, just so many things that,
Yeah.
it's that's one of the main things I do love about, Instagram and all this stuff is the connections that we're making. I mean, one of the sites that I follow on Facebook is Veteran to Veteran. I mean, I made so many friends out of there that were struggling at one time. I don't hesitate to leave my phone on there. I'll tell them, if you want to email, here's my email. You want to talk, here's my number. You want to text, here's my number. But whatever you're going through, don't let it overpower you.
And that's
I'm here. I'm waiting to listen. And so many times my wife or even my daughter coming home, from work or late night, or she gets up, they see me, I'm on the phone. They know I'm not over there bullshitting, trying to talk to chicks.
right.
I'll show them, hey, look,
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They see that, I'm talking to people all around the U.S. or even across the world, people that just want somebody to listen. And that's one of the things that I'm really thankful for, even though, I mean, yeah, I got my degree, I got everything else. I could be making bigger money if I want to, but at the end,
It's not about the money.
it's not giving me the satisfaction of being able to help someone, either through my bottles or just being there at the time that they need someone. That's, I just, I thank the Lord that, where I'm at, regardless in life. I'm not 100%, healthy, but I'm getting
Right.
there.
Right.
You got to take one day at a time, one day at a time. The past is in the past. The future, we don't know what it holds, but today's a gift. That's why it's the present.
Right.
It's the present. You got to just enjoy where you're at.
Yeah, that's something we talked about last night. We've been at this for an hour now, so we're going to wrap this up. I always end up, my Marine conversations in particular always end up having to be split in two because we talk forever, but it's.
Oh, we can keep going and going.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, we got so much.
But what I was going to say, that's something we were talking about last night, is a couple of things. Hopefully I can remember them both. Is that, one, I am, when, the first couple of signups in the Hero Harbor app, I reached out to them via email and through the app and whatever, and just said, how did you find me? And when, they told me they found me on Instagram. And anyway, but now I've been able to grab them out of any of the social and like this. We've done interviews. One of them has come up here to visit, and it's the most amazing thing. We're no longer nameless, faceless. So that's what we talked about last night. Was those connections are the most amazing thing. Yeah. Also mentioned helping people, and that too. It's when and you, like you said, that just one person, when that you helped anyone, it changes everything. I mean, I could die at that moment, and I could never be happier. It's just, I don't know. It's just, and that's a human thing. That's not just a Marine thing or a military thing. It's
just being human. It's just a love for someone else that they can be so far away,
sacrifice.
But you understand what they're going through, and they just need just someone to listen. And oh my Lord, it's it just gets me a lot. I get so frustrated with the ones that we can't reach. I'm like,
no, I know.
If I had the opportunity just to be able to make a connection or be able to reach out and tell them that, hey, we live to fight another day. We just gotta say fuck it today, and let's charge at it tomorrow and stuff. But those get me, and that's why that's why I'm always willing to share my story or to talk to anyone at any time.
Well, and that's the other thing I want to get across to people, and I think once, like I said, I've asked you to hold off getting an account in there because we're about to launch a new version that has got just some amazing features and things. So I want everybody to see what it see what it's going to be like. But anyway, my point is that once you have your account, what we may do is give you what I call God status, and give you to verify people, so that as you meet them, and if they when they sign up, that you can automatically verify them, which keeps them from having to do that. Going back to what you were saying about that post, that guy and the post, this is what hurts my heart so horribly, is that, and this is what we're out to fix with Hero Harbor, is the idea that, he got lucky that day and he saw it. But how often, as I told you before we started, I've spent my whole entire stinking day buried in the muck of social, trying to figure out how to get this stuff. And this is the real challenge for me, is that, I can schedule a whole bunch of stuff, but it's not really personal. For me to do it personally is really a challenge, because it takes so much work, and trying to get it to all the different platforms and stuff. And so what we're doing with Hero Harbor is we want to eliminate all of that stuff. When people get in there, you don't have to worry about the fake accounts. You don't have to worry about people, as I told you last evening, so many people think that because Hero Harbor is a military focused or whatever, they assume I'm a guy. And so I get direct messages with pornography and shit in them. And it's a and so the point is, how many of these men and women who've killed themselves just missed a post because of the fire, hose effect of all the social, or there was, we see that these accounts, and there's Facebook is still full of fake accounts, fake IG, and like you said, these accounts who say, oh, we're veteran focused, or follow us, it's like, and it's like, and you and I can tell pretty quickly. It's like, you're full of shit. Yeah. I follow something that says veteran owned, but the point is that we're working on fixing that, so the people in there are verified. You can see that, so you don't have to fight through that, because we need to work together to get the information in front of the people at the time that they need it. Not, we don't, if we can do that, then we run a much better odds of helping people, because I don't even want to think about how many people we lost. Nearly 6,000 military associated people last year, and a similar percentage with the first responders, and how many of them may have gone on Facebook, may have gone on, but just missed the thing that they needed, and couldn't find the ones, the people to listen, because it I've said this on Instagram and stuff, but again, as I said, everything gets buried. And of course, I'm very long-winded. So as one of the women pointed out to me, she's like, you need, if you could do it in 60 seconds. I said, I've never said anything in 60 seconds in my life. But, I tried to point out to people, no one will work harder to get your name, your company, your profile in front of everyone else. So I'm working on your behalf, rather, because Hero, like you said, I don't do it for the money. Hero Harbor is nonprofit. It's everything I do is, and we have plans. Somebody asked me some time ago, how do you recognize, because it was a young 20-something civilian, and he asked me, how do you say thank you to a veteran if you don't know he's a veteran? And I said, so one of the things I want to do is, because some of us don't feel comfortable or whatever. I wear Veramore shorts and stuff. I don't promote the Marine Corps, but so I wanted to get us a custom made bracelet that we can, really classy kind of thing, much nicer than the Armed Live Strong things, but so that, that we can start recognizing each other, with something as simple as that. But the important part, holy crap, where's the vodka? My brain works faster than my mouth can, but the idea is that we just clean it all up, and so the people who are in there, and as I said to you again last night, absolute zero tolerance policy. I'll let a whole lot of people in there, but the moment that you say something stupid, anti-hero of any kind, you're gone. And the thing too, because people are verified, it'll be easier if something does happen. We can find them. We will know where you're at, and anyway, so, okay, I'm going to get off of that soapbox. And we're going to move on, but and wrap this up. But like I said, okay. One last thing. If people wanted to buy something, if they had a custom order, or if they wanted to pay for something, or if they just want to donate on behalf of, the stockings or any of the things you're doing, is there a way for people to do that?
Yeah, if it's well, first for my bottles and stuff, we have I use my wife's PayPal. That's one way that we do it, and then
So is there a donate button on Facebook?
I think no, I do not. I have not worked on that yet. When it comes like the GoFundMe and all that, I'm still very hesitant on those. So that's why we use the PayPal. But I got people that have ordered me bottles from all across the U.S. already, and I there's just such an awesome satisfaction when you mail it and then they get it and they love it more than what they expected.
Right.
I'm like I love getting that. So we use that through that. People either can donate to the Marine Corps League 835 out of San Diego, and that goes directly everything to the stockings. Or even I've gotten just sporadic donations. People, hey, I know you do the stockings. How can I donate? And I'll tell them, hey, here's the PayPal. Do you need a receipt? I can provide you a receipt from the Marine Corps League. They're a nonprofit and everything. So they people know that I'm not bullshitting. Once I throw out the Marine Corps League.
Well, that's something you said earlier too, and because that's the thing I found is that, and what I was getting at when I was talking about spending the whole day with the daggum social, is that we don't trust. We're skeptical, and for good reason of just these memes. People like them all day, but you don't get real interaction until you get personal, until you get until people know that you're a real person, and that's what the constant frustrating challenge for me is that I can get stuff out there, but it's business like or corporate. It looks like, but the time and energy, like you said, you've got a family and everything else to do the personal stuff. It's just this crazy catch-22. So okay, well, when I know you have to go take care of kids and that sort of thing, but we will stay in touch, and either via email or phone or text or whatever, I'll start helping you get together, and pointing you in the direction of some of these other resources. And, we'll get, between the two of us, we'll figure it out. So Marine Power, right? All right, Devil Dog, thank you so much. It's been amazing.
Thank
so
you.
Glad to have made this connection. It's just there's just, like you said, nothing better. So, all right.
Simplify, sister.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for spending this time with us. If you enjoyed the content we shared with you, please subscribe, review, and share this show with your friends. Veramore, the dating app, and Hero Harbor, the social connection tool for heroes, are both in the app stores. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as Veramore, Veramore_app, or Hero Harbor.